Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and we're checking out a new game today. This is called Startup Freak, and it's this Tycoon game where you kind of run your own little media company online and try to earn a ton of cash, as you do with pretty much all these Tycoon-style games. The developer for this game actually reached out to me and gave me the option to play the game and offered up a free code, so I thought it would be a fun game to kind of check out. I do like the idea of the Tycoon games. And this one seems pretty neat. So in setting up our game, there are 3 basic levels. We have we can set up a photo sharing service, which is the easy option, music streaming, which is normal, or an analytics platform, which is apparently going to be hard. I'm going to go with the music streaming option. I think we'll just go with the normal level gameplay. We'll have to give our company a name. So I'm going to call our company Boombox. That'll be our new music streaming service. We need CEO. All right, we've named our CEO Alt Rock. I don't know what to call him. I guess I could just call him Cryptic, but whatever. Naturally, you have a gender choice you can make, so we can go with a male or female. It doesn't, unfortunately, give us the option to choose Apache attack helicopter as our gender, but that's okay. We'll just go with male. This hair is probably fine for me. We have a couple different clothing options. Nothing really complex here. The character that you choose obviously doesn't have a huge impact on the gameplay or anything. It's just the way that they look in the game, and man, there's actually quite a few different clothing options. Mostly just changing the neck piece that's on here. You know what? That shirt looks good for me, I think. We can choose different skill levels for our starting items. So we have like development, design. For example, if I increase design to 4 points, it has to balance out, so we have to lose out somewhere else. I feel like if we're gonna go with 4 design, sales and marketing, I should probably keep it like 3. Development, we want to have that in good shape. Okay, balancing this out is kind of a pain. It's not letting me tweak this the way I want. All right, there we go. Let's go with 3 development, 4 design, 3 sales and marketing, and 2 operations. 3 weeks ago, your great uncle Brian passed away after a tragic shoe shopping incident. All right, whatever. In his will, he left you a sum of $50,000, knowing full well what you would do with it. Distraught yet excited about the break you've been given, you quit your day job, register the domain www.boombox.com, and begin working on your dream startup idea. Here is your story. Okay, so we're gonna get a lot of these pop-ups because it's kind of like an in-game tutorial as you play through the game. But here's our little office. We start off with just 1 space that has it up for 3 people in total, including ourselves. You can see our fancy skill set there. We're paying ourselves a ton of money at $10,000 a year. Whew, man, we're talking about living below the poverty line. Our expenditures are like $1,873 a month. And we're working on developing a minimal viable product that we can get out to market and start to bring in some actual customers so we can get some revenue. So in order to do that, we have to develop 3 features and get to level 1 infrastructure. Now, I have played this game a little bit just to get a sense of how the game plays. Not that I'm an expert at it or anything, but I wanted to kind of see how the gameplay works out. So if we go over here to our backlog, then a lot of what we focus on in building our company is working on design sprints and development sprints and bug squishing and all that kind of stuff. This is where we do that. So first of all, we have to add in some features because our website doesn't have any features at all currently. We do that by clicking, and there's 2 different options we can do when putting it. We put a technical component in, which is when we left click. We can add a design component in, which is when we right click. 2 components are enough this early, so okay, we're gonna add that to our sprint. Now a sprint is basically a work time frame. I think in the course of this game, they're using 1 week for each sprint, and when you're doing the sprints, you're actually like building up the different types of things you're going to work on, and then you try to knock them out. Some of them will take longer than others. So I think having a 2-box feature in here, I think it takes 2 sprints in order to complete it. We also have other things here we can add in, like this is researching additional infrastructure so that we can get to the point where we can have additional servers in order to manage the load, because obviously running an online service, we're going to need to have servers. Your cash deposit. Dear Alt, my name is German Glowacki, the executor of your late uncle's will. Per his instructions, and despite the immediate family's many attempts to modify the contents of the will, I've deposited $50,000 to your bank account. I'm glad the matter is now resolved, because frankly, I couldn't take any more of it. Continue, sir. German Glowacki. There's a really funky like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing with this game. I really enjoy. All right, so it's currently April 23rd, 2018. And we have one feature on the go and then infrastructure. So each time you click on the play button, it'll progress you ahead one sprint. Tasks and features may take more than one sprint to finish. You can see their progress in the little bars. Okay, so we're at 55% for that first feature. We'll have to do another sprint, and then that first feature. Ooh, actually, it's taking more than. Man, we got 55% in our first week sprint. Second week sprint, we only got to 80%. And then only 80 to 95. It seems like each sprint it goes a little bit slower. That's a little weird. Anyway. Awesome, you just built your very first feature. Now look at what else you need to do to complete the minimal viable product by clicking the arrow key at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so we have one of the 3 features. We're on our way to getting a level 1 infrastructure, but we do need 2 additional features. I'm going to make these ones small as well so we can get that minimal viable product ready to go. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll add that to our sprint, and then we're gonna make all these small ones for now, just to get this minimal viable product going. We want to get there as early as possible so we can try to start earning some revenue. Because until we start to bring in some customers, everything is just pure expense for us. Okay, we just leveled up infrastructure. Fantastic. You just leveled up your very first backlog item. Now look at what else needs to we need to complete. The minimum viable product. Yeah. Okay, already did that. Okay, so we have level 1 infrastructure. 2 features are underway. They're both at 80%. They'll be done very soon. Up here, we can hire employees for our company as well, which makes sense. Try to bring in some people to help out if we want to spend the money. I may not do this right away because it does add significantly to our expense, although it does speed up development along the way. Ooh, development 4, and they have an attitude of 9. Robbed rank. You know what? I am going to bring this guy in. He's only making $60,000 a year, which isn't crazy. He's got a really good attitude, and development 4 is a decent starting development skill. Now, as we progress through the game, we can get some significantly higher ones. This employee I'm not interested in. Okay, so we have one additional employee here. Robbed rank. We're going to rename them if I can get the option. No, tell me I can rename Rob. All right, I guess you have to rename them before you select them. Well, that kind of stinks. All right, so we have Robbed rank. We'll probably end up replacing them anyway, unless they can skill up significantly. But hopefully, with their added development skill, we'll be able to develop design features. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be design features. We'd have to have design for that. But hopefully, we'll be able to work through development a little bit quicker. Congratulations, you reached the minimum viable product. Let's start preparing for the launch. So, in order to for the launch, we have to go through the pre-launch phase. Man, we're up to $6,913 a month now because of that hiring I did. We have to get to level 1 any sales and marketing. We need marketing spending of $1,000. We need at least 1 server, and we need to set up pricing. Wait, what's this here now? Junk mail. Get paid while you sleep. Who said you need to put in a hard day's work to earn money? Now you can do it while you sleep, literally. Simply install our app, Wealth Dreams, on your phone. Enter your banking details and head to bed. Our app detects your sleep patterns and rewards you with sweet, sweet cash. The more hours you sleep, the more we pay. No questions asked. Click here to start now. It's amazing that they've even gone to the point of like simulating junk mail, which I'm sure if you have an email address, you're certainly familiar with. Okay, so here's our server setup. We also have topology in here. Now we start off with only being able to have 1 server in 1 data center. As we level up our infrastructure, we can get to the point where we can do load balancing and have multiple servers in 1 data center. And then later we got load balancing advanced that lets us get to multiple servers in multiple data centers, and that's obviously the best option. We do need to set up a server initially. We're going to go with the Ninja because it's the only one that's available to us. It has 1 gigabyte memory, 4,000 maximum load, and it's $250 a month. I'm gonna rent that last because while we're working on these other things, I can put that in place like as soon as we need it, and it's just instantly there, and then I don't incur the expense in the meantime. But let's work on our backlog. We do need to work on some. Well, here's branding. This will let us improve our logo, and when we level up our logo to new designs, we can increase our traffic. So that's a good one. Let's bring in some marketing. So we have outbound marketing, inbound marketing, which is things like blogging, SEO, and video content. Social media. I'm going to work on inbound marketing first, I think. We of course need to have some new features underway. So let's do a couple of these. I'm going to add some that are slightly bigger this time around as well. And I'm also going to try to leave space so we can have security in here, because that is definitely going to become an issue as we move forward. Now, you can't tell that initially because all we can do is add features, but there is an option ultimately to add in security, which helps protect your website, of course, as well from unintended intrusions and attacks and that sort of thing. So we'll get a couple of different features here underway. That'll get us to... Actually, we don't even need any features at the moment, but it's still good to have some of those on the go. I feel like we want to constantly keep developing features in order to have a product that's going to draw in the customer. So everything here is about research and then setting up pricing. If we go to our pricing options, hint, our competitors are charging an average of $30 a month. Now, this number here, I played a couple times, and the number seems to be almost random in terms of what it's going to tell you. I've had it say, like, your competitors are charging up to $110 a month, but then ultimately when it gets down to having your different tier levels in here, how many can I have in here? I guess 3 is the maximum number of tiers. When it came right down to it, the pricing was still like totally out of whack. If I set my pricing similar to my competitors, then it was always saying it was overpriced, and I don't know. We have our basic tier. We have our we'll go with audio file tier, and then I don't even know if I spelled that right, but whatever. And then broken eardrums tier. All right, so we have our basic, the audio file, and then broken eardrums. Obviously, we have no users right now. This is just going to be our initial pricing. That'll have to change over time based on what our market research is telling us, but that at least gives us a starting point. And then I think we're going to need to run some sprints to try to get ahead here and get some of these other items researched. All right, great. You've gained some experience in marketing. We can start spending some money on marketing activities. So if we go into marketing, actually, let's take a look. What have we got going on here? Market spending and then servers. Yeah, so as soon as we set up some spending and then add our server, we'll have a product that's ready to launch. In this view here, we can add like furniture and things that will unlock ultimately to make our office a better space to keep our employees happy. We can rent out office spaces that are larger. You can actually see the general layout and design of each of these here. But this is where we want to go into the marketing. There's a lot of different marketing options in here. I'm going to work initially with video content, so we'll grab this and add $1,000 in spend. We only have this marketing tier at level 1, so I can only spend $1,000 a month on it, but that's okay because we're not making any money anyways, so anything we add in there expense-wise is going to kick us in the pants. Branding we haven't unlocked just yet. That gets that ready. Now we just need a server and we're ready to launch. Well, we did manage to research level 2, so now we have another server here that's actually double the capacity by the looks of it. Same size, and it's about $150 more, so we'll take the Super XT10. We'll plug that into our little server ready area, and we're ready to launch. We only really need one server now. There's no point spending more rent on one. It'll tell us if it starts to get overloaded, and then we can add in more to manage the capacity as needed, but right now we don't have any customers. A new network topology is available for research. Open infrastructure. Okay, so we got to level 3 on infrastructure, which is great. That lets us research load balancing, which will allow us to have more than one server. We're on August 6, 2018 so far, and we still don't have any customers. If we look at our... there's actually no reporting available yet. So at some point we'll get a reporting available. We can see what that structure looks like. But let's keep going and see if we can get some customers on here. Sprint 16 completed. Our cash reserves are slowly running out. We should look for some investors. We're at $29,000. We should look for investors, but I don't want to do it just yet. Wait till our cash load gets a little bit lower. What are we working on now? Oh, you know what? You know what? It would help if I actually click the launch button. Here I am just incurring expenses as we develop additional features, but I hadn't actually launched, so we had no opportunity for customers. Looking at the backlog, it says market research is crucial for any startup. So market research basically lets us expand the space that we have to work with here in order to add in features and what have you. And it also gives us some key information about things like, is our product priced well? What sort of features are customers looking for that they're going to like, and that kind of thing. We do have a few things in progress. Let's get rid of this for now. I'm going to add in this option here is to seek for investors because we are going to need money, and until we unlock that, we can't actually go after investors. So I should probably make sure that we have that researched so that we can tackle that. Well done, your very first user just signed up, and many more are sure to follow. Actually, we got 32 users that first time. That's sweet. That gives us a revenue of $1,300 a month. It still doesn't meet our expenditures. However, we at least have some cash coming in the door, where before we were just hemorrhaging pure expense. Completed research load balancing, open infrastructure. Okay, so our server is maxed out, pretty much. It's when it's flashing red, you know that's an issue. We do have a couple of servers unlocked here now. So this is 500 a month. Maximum load 10,000. It's 12 gigs. Ooh, this one's 700 a month. It has 18,000 gigs. Or sorry, 18,000 is the maximum load on the Concord, but it does take a double slot. But that's all right, actually, because the price is lower than this one is. I think we're going to add a Concord in here. And see how that works out for us. So now we have, it'll load balance across a couple of servers, which is good. We do have additional marketing we've unlocked, so I feel like we should maybe do some Barker ads, which is basically kind of like Twitter. We can increase our advertising through our video content as well, because we leveled that up. It's definitely going to add to our expense. We're at like $12,000 a month now. However, advertising really seems to be the key to driving in new users, so that's going to be really important. And we also want to make sure that if we check... we still have 2 employees. Ooh, we've also unlocked our first level branding, so that's good. When we rebrand it sort of changes the look of our sign, and it also gives us a visitor boost. So this first level is not much. It gives us a 1% visitor boost, but that's okay. We've got to start somewhere. Let's make maybe this one for Boombox. Initially, that'll be our brand we're using for now, and you can see that it updates on our little sign over here, which is great. 88%, 84% for the 2 features in progress. Our market research is still going. I don't think there's anything else we can add to the backlog right now. Oh, we do have a gap there. Let's maybe add in... this is company PR, which will let us find some better employees. So when we hire our next employee, I'd like our PR to be better so that we can get somebody who has a higher skill level when we bring them in the door. Okay, we've knocked out 2 more features, so that gives us 7 out of 20 features. We have to get up to 20 to get to that next level, as well as have monthly revenue over $10,000. We're at 5,000 now, which isn't really bad at this point in the game, I don't think. We also need level 3 market research. We're working on level 2 market research right now. Or is it level 1? I'm not exactly sure how that pays attention to that. But we do need to add in some additional features. Ooh, and we can add in security now too. Let's make security something that we focus on right from the beginning, because I've made the mistake before of not doing that. And let me tell you, when it kicks you in the butt security-wise, it's really not good. You really get clobbered if you make a mistake and don't have your security covered off. So let's do that. We'll add in a feature here as well. Let's make this another 3-point feature. I don't know yet whether our customers want things that are more technical-based or more design-based. We won't know that until our first market research is done. But for now, I'm going to stick with what we have here anyway. All right, first market report is in. Our best feature has 4 components: 0 upgrades and 0 bugs. Customers in our market segment care more about responsive design than forward compatibility. Now, this is about additional feature design. It's not even the normal types of features you develop, but more like things that you use to make your features more attractive. Our customers are really happy with how bug-free our product is, which makes sense because we have 0 bugs. We're at 0 of 7. Our potential customers in this market care more about design than technical features. Based on this, 0 of our features are too technical, and 0 of our features are too design-focused. 7 of our features hit the right balance between tech and design. Amazing. My Face ads will attract a larger number of visitors than local meetup sponsorship for any amount of spending. So if we were going to do local meetup sponsorship, it's actually not worth it to us. We're better off spending the money on My Face ads. The price of our Broken Eardrums plan is getting close to where it should be, but is too low. We should consider raising it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So this one's too low. Let's maybe make it $50 a month for now, because they said it was close to where it should be. Let's apply that. That will hopefully give us some good revenue. We're at 154 total users and $6,180 in earnings. And our server is maxed out again. I still feel like we're getting better value out of, I mean, this is 12 gigs of memory with the maximum load zones. I don't know how it compares like memory unload. I have a feeling it might have a little bit to do with performance. But let's try this for now. We'll add in the Fuchsia server. That'll absorb the load that we need taken care of there, and then we'll see how that kind of progresses. In terms of our milestones, we're still working on our level on our market research. Actually, we just finished that first market research, so we should go and add in another. You can see all this gray space that it's added now gives us new space that we can add design and features and things into. So I'm going to work on our next market research. Make sure this overlaps so that we get this all covered off. we'll open up this area for more design. We are also at level 2 branding, so that should actually increase the quality of our candidates. So Joaquin Jordal makes 50,000. He's got sales and marketing at level 4, sales and marketing level 2, development man. I still feel like these candidates aren't that great. So I'm not sure whether sensitivity is a good trait. Attitude is a good one to have at a high rating, because they're just like, I don't know, better employees kind of thing. I'm going to go ahead and start to name the employees that we bring into the company based off the sponsors that we have for the channel. Our most recent sponsor was Command Line. So this will be Command Line making $50,000. He'll work on sales and marketing for us, and hopefully that will help boost some of our user base. That certainly adds to our cost. We're up to $19,320. We are going to want to go back and look at our marketing and spend more here. Now, it's always a... Actually, we're already maxed out for spend there because I stopped working on the research for that in our backlog. Oh no, actually, level 2 branding gives us access to different branding. I was thinking PR, but that's not it. So if we go to our branding, yeah, there we go. We can pick another design, which actually boosts our visitors by plus 2% instead of plus. Well, this one's kind of neat. I'm gonna go with this option here though. We'll rebrand Boombox to look like this. So that'll give us a plus 2% visitor boost, which isn't a lot, but it's something. It sure beats nothing. Okay, we have our first impact. Unemployment drop. Candidates minus 50%. Starting salary plus 10%. I feel fortunate that we actually just hired an employee, because now for 12 sprints, this effect will stay in place, and it's a negative effect obviously because you have fewer candidates and they cost more. But we don't really need any. We have our 3 employees. They're all working away here nicely. Our servers, again, are maxed out. Good lord. Let's add in another fuchsia server. That will give us the additional load we need. Let's see if we have it. Yeah, we do have some openings. Ooh, we have our first bug. Let's work on quashing that. And then I also want to continue to boost this marketing opportunity here. So we can try to get some more advertising dollars and get customers in faster. We're at $7,890 out of $20,000 in our expenditure. So we do want to get ahead of that curve by trying to bring in customers as quick as we can. All right, our cash is starting to get a little bit on the low side. We're down to $6,608. We still have a little ways to go in order to get this knocked out. We need a few more features. We'll get 11 of them. Our monthly revenue is getting close to that threshold that we need to cross at 10,000. But we should probably start to look at getting our first investor. So if we go down here, we get the opportunity to sort of pitch our business to an investor who might want to buy a portion of our company, or a stake in the portion of the company anyway, in exchange for some cash. Clarabelle Carithers, she's a very curious individual who is always on the lookout for a problem we're solving. She's very active on social media and has a large following. Now, that gives you this information as a clue for the types of things you should be trying to pitch them in order to try and get them interested in your company and wanting to invest. Basically, in order to do your pitch, you have these different things down here you click on, and you gauge their response on what you click, and then see if you can get them up above this green line in terms of their progressive interest, so they'll make an offer. If you can't get them over that green line, they won't make an offer. They just won't be interested enough, and you miss out on that investment opportunity. So she's a curious individual who's always looking out for a problem we're solving. I mean, I don't know. That seems like it could fit into a bunch of these different things, but maybe let's look at features. Nope, she's not interested in features. What about information architecture? Nope, not worried about that either. Infrastructure? Nope. She's very active in social media, so what about sales and marketing, maybe? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so she's interested in sales and marketing, so we're going to milk this for all it's worth. Each time we use it, though, we get a lesser response out of her, so we pretty much tap that out. We are getting close to that green line. We have to find some more things she's going to be interested in. Is always on the lookout for a problem we're solving. Business model? No, she's not really interested in that. Recruitment? Nope. That's a snore for her. We're very close. All it's going to take is something that's going to tip us over that edge now. Market research. Oh, yeah, there we go. She's super interested in market research, so we're going to tap that again. I think the higher they get above this green line, the more they're willing to offer for your company. Now, this first offer, I'm going to take it at face value. It's a pretty big chunk. $278,000 for 16%. 16% is kind of high. I'd really like to lower that. If we lower it, you can see there's it does increase the risk, though, that they're not going to be interested. This is a high risk if we go down much lower than that. So we have a couple of options. You can tweak the amount of money that you want for it. Obviously, there's no risk if we want less money, but that would be silly. We could ask for more money. But the reality is, if you miss this pitch, you're probably going out of business, because once your cash gets low enough that you have to seek an investor, you're getting close to that red line. So I'm just going to accept the offer at face value of this first one. Later on, we'll get the opportunity to pitch to multiple people, and that will give us a better opportunity to negotiate a bit, because we can counter offer and try to get something that's more favorable for us. But in the meantime, we need that cash to make sure our company stays alive. If we miss out on that, we have a very real risk of being bankrupt, which should not be great. All of our features are finished being designed at the moment, so of course we're going to want to add some more of these. Let's go this way. Add that to the sprint. Let's do another feature over here. Let's make this one a big feature. We'll add that to the sprint too. That one's going to take a little while. Later we can put a security in here, and that'll hit a few of these features at once in order to give us some security protection too. Market Report 2 is in. Our best features for components. Most of the stuff is the same, but our customers in market segment care more about localization than adaptive UI. We have no bugs, which is good. We still have the right balance for our design and tech, which is great. Competition will attract a larger number of visitors than blog posts. Oh, competitions get more visitors than blog posts, so obviously for any amount of money. So we don't want to spend money on blog posts if we can spend on competitions instead. The price of broken eardrums is getting close to where it should be, but it's still too low. We should consider raising a bit. Okay, that's interesting. So often it comes in and tells me that I need to make my pricing cheaper, so I'm actually happy that it's giving me the option to make it more expensive, because as we raise the price, our revenue goes up with it, and if our customers are happy that way, then hey, why not give them what they want? Let's bring in another server. Man, we got quite a server load going on here. You know what? I really should get rid of this first server as well. We'll replace that with the Fuchsia server, and then maybe I won't add this one at the bottom. So we increase the cost a little bit, but not as much as if we had added a whole new server, although this will probably max out again soon. Let's also look at our advertising spending. Let's go into marketing. We've leveled up some more video content, I think. Oh, no, we haven't. Barker ads we've leveled up. Okay. All right, I guess it was social media I boosted. I thought it was video, but that's all right. So we'll boost our social media presence. Better than local media. Okay. Yeah, so actually, fortunately, our market research gets shown up here, so we can actually see what things are worth spending the money on and what's not. However, I'm going to crank up those Barker ads. Hopefully, they'll boost our customer inflow. We are spending more money now. We're at 25,000, so we got about half of that in revenue. Still at the server problem, even after I added in that other one. So let's add in this Fuchsia server again at the bottom. Now, we've run into our first employee problem. Robbed Rank is not very happy. Biggest concern, it might as well be working for food. I mean, I guess you're right. Wow, actually, Command Line isn't very happy either. I feel like we should give these guys a salary boost. We'll boost them up by 10,000. Hopefully, that will give us an opportunity to make them happier. Now, the trouble is, it's also boosting our expenditure. So we're staying at about half of our expenditure. We're making it revenue. Man, and we again have server problems. This is crazy. We do have another server available. Wow, this is 5,000 a month. Maximum load 40,000, so it replaces basically 4 of these, which would equate to about $2,000 a monthly rent versus 5,000. I don't know that really makes a lot of sense to me. It does have more CPU cores, so maybe it's more responsive. Or let's just add another Fuchsia server for now, and hopefully that will cover what we need. All right, we're January 14th, we finished to sprint 38 so far. January 14th, 2019, a new network topology is available. So now if we open up our infrastructure, man, our server load, I've continued to add servers as we move along here because it's just, we keep topping them out. However, we can start to research now load balancing advanced, which will let us open up additional data centers. It'll make a big difference in our ability to manage. We also have a new server option available, the Hush. It's $1,200 and has 20,000. So it's a little bit more expensive. 16 gigs of memory, maximum load 20,000. So it handles double the load. It's a little more expensive. We'll grab the Hush server and see how this works for us to try to absorb some of what we got going on here. Our growth has been pretty good though. I mean, our expenditures are at 35,000, so I feel like we've relatively controlled those. Our revenue is at 20,000, so it's better than half now, and it's climbing. We definitely want to go in and pay attention a little bit more to some more marketing. We have another option to unload or unlock. Worse than competition for any amount. Better than local meetups. Sponsorship for any amount of spending. Let's do my face ads. I'm gonna spend a bunch of money on marketing and try to get a good boost in terms of our incoming customers. I'm gonna go crazy. We're gonna spend tons of money. We have 249,000 to work with. Let's just blow it out of the water and see if we can get our customer base to explode a little bit. We also have to unlock something. Let's unlock SEO here, and I can't invest in that because I have all my money spent on video content right now. But that's okay. Branding, we're at level 3 now. So we can rebrand again, get another visitor boost. This one looks pretty cool, so we'll go with that. That gets us a 3% boost. Still don't have any furniture unlocked yet, which would be really good because our employees are getting restless. Unfortunately, Rob Rank is not very happy. He's at 19%. Command Lines is pretty happy overall. Let's try boosting up Rob Rank, and I'm also going to train them a little bit to try to get a higher skill level. Maybe they'll be happier if they're a little more feeling a little more engaged. Completed researching load balancing advanced. So that's going to allow us to have, man, look at this traffic. This is crazy. Wow, 43% Australia traffic. That's ridiculous. Let's activate this one. We're going to throw in some more Hush servers. It's a fair amount of traffic, so we're going to throw in 2 there to begin with. I'm going to throw in another Hush server down here. We might need to start swapping out these servers that are in place here because we're running out of place to put servers in place. But I guess that's a good problem to have. I mean, we're up to 727 users. We're earning $30,000. Again, it kind of dropped down to about that half point in terms of our revenue. But if we can get some good boost through advertising and bring in some more people, I feel like that would go a long way to helping us surge above that expenditure level. We still need a level 3 market research, so I'm going to do one more of those. Oh man, we got more bugs to work on. Let's get those squashed. Let's bring in market research. We're level 2 so far. Okay, so down here there are the designs that are sort of already outlined. These are requested customer features. Sprint's already full, so I can't add them at the moment. But when we expose these things, they're good ones to add because customers really want them. Man, we've got a lot of stuff in progress for research right now, and nothing really for developing additional sprints. So let's get rid of this for now, and we'll work on one. No, I guess I have to build my way down to it. So let's throw in another feature here and try to come in. You basically have to just kind of come in contact with this thing. So let's throw a feature in there to add that to a sprint. That'll give us the ability to add in this customer requested feature, which should hopefully give us a nice boost. Our security is not really in a good place either. I'm just gonna drop off for now. I'm not gonna worry about infrastructure for the moment. The servers we have are pretty good, and we can keep adding those in for now. Let's go ahead and add in a security feature here because I'm a little concerned that we're going to run into a security problem, and that affects us for weeks. It's just really, really expensive. We don't want that to happen, so we'll try to get that taken care of now. Well, we're at sprint 45, and unfortunately, Rob is not a very happy employee. He's only at 25% happiness, but we don't really have the means right now to know why he's unhappy. He's not actually telling us, so I can't do a ton about that. Looking at our progress here, we're working on market research for level 3, which will, of course, let us hit one more item on this milestone. We still have 7 features in order to complete. We do have one of them in progress. Once this one finishes, we can go ahead and add another. We have a gap here. Let's try putting in another security option. We'll put this up here to try to protect these applications up here. I'm not exactly sure how the security works entirely. I mean, I can see that when you have it protected, it gives you the green around it, but I don't know if that makes it impossible for there to be an issue or whether it just limits the likelihood of it. But that's all right. Let's go check out our ad spending as well before we advance. So if we look in marketing, we've unlocked some more stuff here, I think. These are all max spend. Yeah, I guess I have all my advertising dollars out there already. Nothing else we can do to improve the office yet either. Okay, we had to add another server to Australia because this one's getting full. I think it would be a good idea maybe to activate Europe here as well. It's our next highest one. Let's throw a server in there and see if this will help boost our traffic. I don't know if it makes a difference having more data centers or whether it's just about sharing the load. Quality of our candidates improved. Nice, they're at +1, so we're at, well, only level 2, unfortunately, for PR. Rompt is at 27%, so his happiness is going up. That's good. Now we just got to get to the point where we're actually operating in the black. Market report 3. Price of our auto file plans close to where it should be, but it's a little low, so we want to increase that. I like that these are going up instead of going down, so at least it's giving me that option to earn more money instead of less money. This server is maxed out, so we'll need to throw another one in here. See how that holds out. You've received an urgent email. Open mailbox. Urgent. Serious security vulnerability. Hi, Alt. Not sure how to break this to you, but we've had a level 1 security breach earlier this morning. The scope of the attack is still not clear. There'll be a big fallout from this. The team's already found and patched the issue. I know you keep pushing for more features, but we've got to invest in our security more. Have a nice day. Figure of speech. Robbed ranked. Churn plus 5%. So this effect is going to last for 10 sprints. It's going to give us a plus 5 churn and minus 5 to sign-ups, which really is going to hurt the pocketbook. We were finally starting to get into a position where we were getting close to being in the black. 37,000 monthly income versus 59,000 expenditure. We have a fair amount of still cash to run on, but I kind of want to get this so we're actually turning a profit every month. And this is certainly not going to help. It's going to hang over 10 cycles. Servers are okay, although we'll probably have to add to Europe soon. Our backlog. See, I even added a new security feature in there, but I guess it just wasn't good enough. Let's research this desired feature here. We can also look at feature upgrades. Feature upgrades are extremely important in making effective and desirable incorrect sentences, apparently. Here you can research upgrades that can be added to individual features. Remember, upgrades take a long time to research. So, I mean, if you look in here, you can see it'll tell us here somewhere. There we go. Like less than localization. Some of these will have like less than accessibility. So there's different preferences that our customers are going to want. Liked more than forward compatibility. So responsive design is something that people like, I guess. Let's add that in. We'll take a look at our security and add in some more security options here. We'll need one there. Add that to the sprint. We can do another market research to unlock this space up here. And then we can put a security option up here, which will help protect things too. Marketing spending. Ooh, we finally have some cash we can spend here, so let's max that out. Try to get a boost in our users. We need to offset this churn and lowered sign up by just bombarding people with advertisements or something. All right, sprint 56. We have our market report 4 in. My face ads will attract a larger number of visitors than newspapers and magazines if we spend more than 80,000. Well, we're not really even close to that. The price of our broken eardrums plan is getting close to where it should be, but we should consider raising it. So let's go do that. Again, I love that this is telling me I need to charge more money for my plans, because that obviously adds to our revenue. We're still trailing behind by about $23,000 a month or so in terms of our revenue versus expenses, but we haven't had to borrow any more money, and that's pretty good, I figure. Let's quash another bug. We're still working on some of these options in here. This is still in progress. Is that one available now, actually? Details, no upgrades are available just yet. But let's go ahead and add in some more features to work on. Well, at least one more feature. We'll put this one in here so we can add it close to the security option, I think. Well, actually, let's discard that. We'll put it in feature. Put it in like this. Add that to the sprint. And then we should probably put more security up here, but I just sort of used up the last slot there. All right, sprint 61. We got rid of that negative security effect, and now we have another new one. Speech dries up job applicants. That's funny. Candidates minus 50% and starting salaries plus 10%. It's a good thing we're not really in the market to hire anybody right now, so this largely shouldn't affect us. And hopefully, now that we're out from underneath that security issue, we can start to see some growth in our user base. And that might get us where we need to be. Can we spend any more money here? We can't. Ooh, we can spend more money there, though. Crank up the video content. And then maybe let's take a look at our branding. Where are we on branding? Ooh, no, we haven't unlocked a new level of that just yet. All right, we have a little bit of furniture we've unlocked for our office now, too. Let's go ahead and get the Patilla coffee machine. We'll put that in here. Hopefully that'll help make people a little bit happier. Rapta started to backslide again. He's back to being unhappy, but I also gave him a pay raise, so I'm hoping that will help out. He's at 28%. Command line's been great. He's super happy. He's pleased to be here, fortunately. If we could just do something about this guy that I forgot to rename when we started the game. It's now a lag on my employee morale. We're still trending around 20,000 behind on revenue versus expenditures, but we also increased our advertising spend, which should hopefully boost our incoming customer base. Capsule offices are all the rage. Property rental minus 30%. All right, I'll take a cost savings. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Rob's at 28%. He's not backsliding, but he's also not improving. Like, dude, you were drinking the coffee. I mean, what's wrong with the free coffee? Aren't you happy with that? I guess coffee doesn't solve everything. Who knew? Solves most of my problems. Back to the infrastructure, and our servers are going crazy. We're getting lots of customers in, which is good. But it's certainly requiring us to rent a whole lot of servers. So we're down 12,000 behind. Come on, get us in the black. Oh, he's actually getting a little happier. I guess the coffee did work. Okay, so responsive design is something we have available to us now. So let's go in and add this as a feature on this desirable feature. We can do another market research down here to try to unlock this other desired feature. And then I guess to ensure we can actually build down there, we'll need to go ahead and add in another design sprint here, so we'll add that. We're getting so close to that break-even point now, but we keep having to add more server rentals. We're at 95,000. We just broke even. For the very first time, Sprint 71, we have more revenue coming in this month than we actually have in expenditures. So that's what you're supposed to do in a Tycoon game. You're not supposed to go deeper in the hole. You're supposed to try to climb out of it. So now we're creating value for ourselves and value for our investors. We only have the one shareholder so far too, which is good. I mean, we didn't have to just go into deeply into leveraging out our company in order to grow. So we're at $88,000. If we can build this revenue up a bit, we might be able to expand without taking on new investors, which would be cool. Even though investors would probably help us accelerate the growth curve a tiny bit, because we could just buy a big office and spend a ton on advertising and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of like the idea of being a little bit more conservative in our approach. Let's go ahead and add in maybe another. Well, it's testing. Let's look at security. We should probably put something down here for security. Try to give a little bit of protection here. So we'll throw a security in there. We'll add that in. Make sure we don't run into another security problem to set us way back again. Congratulations, you've completed Milestone A. That gets us, well, I guess we hit whatever that tier was. Now we're trying to push towards making $200,000 a month in monthly revenue. Servers are, well, they're still going busy, but we should probably try to work on improving our infrastructure, because we're going to need some better servers. We're getting these racks in here are getting pretty full. We're already going to have to look at switching to a different server setup for some of these other markets. It's funny that the smaller traffic's in North America, even though that's where we started. Most of it's in Australia and Europe now, interestingly. We probably could even activate other data centers and send more traffic across the board to those if this starts to get really full. I don't know if it actually shares the load or how that works exactly. I mean, I gather that's the intent, but it's funny that these are the yellow and this one's only green, so I don't know. How are we doing here? We can spend a little bit more on advertising? No, we're all done there. Our furniture in the office, you know, I think these guys need a reward because we're finally in the black. Let's get them something comfortable to sit on. We'll buy them a couch, maybe. No, that doesn't fit. Let's give them a beanbag chair. They can chill out on a beanbag chair. That'll give them +2 happiness, which would be good. There we go. It'd be nice if we had like some artwork or something, but I think there's some of that later on down here we can unlock. Nevertheless, we are finally in the black. We're making $2,000 a month in profit, so that's a good thing. I'm going to call it a wrap for now. If you are interested in playing this game yourself, I'm going to have the link for it in the description of the video. You can follow that over to Steam and pick up a copy. I believe it came out last week, so you'll have an opportunity to get that if you really want. Thank you again to the developer for reaching out and offering me the code so I could play it. This has been really fun. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see some more of this. I do have an interest in playing some more Tycoon games in general. I mean, I've done like a whole bunch of like colony management style games and that sort of thing, which I'm certainly into. But I think I'm going to do some more Tycoon games too. These are pretty fun. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.